welcome to Russ's Kitchen, and today I'm going to take you through my recipe for the humble beef burger, except there is nothing humble about a beef burger. Let me show you what we're going to be using. This is the star of the show and it's the meat. So I went to the butcher and I asked for chuck steak. I prefer to use chuck steak, I prefer the texture, it's got great flavour, and also it's got a really good fat to meat ratio. Now I mince my own chuck steak. If you don't have a mincer, ask the butcher to do it for you. A good butcher will be always more than happy to do that. You can buy mince from the butcher. If you are going to buy mince from the butcher, the only thing I will say is that make sure it is cooked through when you actually make your burger. But chuck steak for me is the go-to. You can use other types of meat. You can even incorporate 50-50. Maybe you can use some shin, some chuck steak, and clod or blade. It's entirely up to you. But the better the meat, the better the flavour. So here we go. I'm going to take our minced chuck steak and I'm going to put it into a bowl. I'm going to season it with plenty of pepper. And then a little secret ingredient. I've got Dijon mustard here. Now I'm going to put in about 1/4 of a teaspoon, and I really do mean about 1/4 of a teaspoon. Don't use any more than that. That is going to go in, and that is going to give it another depth of flavour. Now we're going to mix it with a hand. So now we're going to incorporate all the ingredients together nice and evenly. So we're squashing the mince together. Get our fingers in there. It's not going to take very long to get a really nice consistency for our burgers, but we need to make sure that the mustard and the pepper are really well incorporated into the mix. So after literally a couple of seconds, there you go, all ready to form into our burgers. I've got 1/2 pound of beef here, so I'm making 2 1/4 pounders. So I'm not going to weigh these out, I'm just going to roughly half this mixture. Obviously if you're making 4-ounce burgers, more 1/4 pounders, you're going to actually want to measure those out, but for now let's just half that mixture, and I'm just going to roll it in my hands, squash it down a little bit so that the mixture is nice and firm. And I'm going to form my burger by using a burger press. Put it in the middle, squish it down a little bit. Now you can get burger press, go to your favourite online store, you'll find that they're not expensive at all. Or if you don't want to do that, you can form these with your hands, but I like to use a burger press. It makes it nice and uniform. So nice firm pressure. And there is our perfect 1/4 pounder. So there we go. Our burgers are made. We're now going to pop them into the fridge for at least 1/2 an hour before we start to cook them. So here's our burgers. They've been in the fridge now for just over 1/2 an hour, so they're ready to cook. Now you probably noticed that when we seasoned the burger mixture, we didn't put any salt in, and there's a very good reason for this. If we added salt into the mixture, that salt is going to draw out the moisture from the burger mixture, which we don't want. We want these to be juicy, gorgeous burgers. So the salt we're going to add just at the end of the cooking process. So here they are, they're all ready. Let's go and cook them. So I'm cooking the burgers on a cast iron griddle here. I prefer this because it just gives that nice charred lines that we love to see. Obviously if you're going to do these on a barbecue, which they will taste amazing, just make sure that initially you cook them on the hot part of the barbecue, just so they get some colour, and then move them off onto a cooler part of the barbecue. You can probably see already there's a little bit of smoke coming off this griddle pan. It's been heating up. I'm going to turn that right down. I'm going to take some vegetable oil and just drizzle that over the burgers, smooth it down with my fingers, and we're going to now go into the pan. There's one. There's two. Now at this point I'm turning the heat right down. I want to get that charred effect onto the burger, but I don't want them to overcook. The important thing is to have that effect but then lower the heat, because if you cook these burgers on too high a heat they're going to shrink and they're going to get tough. So that's been about 7 to 10 minutes now. We're going to flip them over. Let's have a look. Wow. And as you can see, we've got this lovely charred marks on the burger. The great thing about using wonderful fresh beef is we can cook this for as much as we want. It can be medium rare, it can be well done. That's your choice, but it's going to taste wonderful. I'm going to be serving my burger in a lovely brioche bun. So what I need to do first is gently toast these under a very, very hot grill. When you're doing this, please keep an eye on them because they're going to toast very, very quickly. There we go. Our burgers are ready for the cheese. I'm just going to put a few bits of cheddar on top of our burgers. You can use whatever cheese you like. Experiment. It's your burger. Have fun with it. I'm using medium cheddar. I'm going to pop that under the grill just so that melts. There it goes. Our burgers are done. The cheese is melted. So the next thing to do is actually assemble our burger. So on our brioche bun, I've got some good quality mayonnaise, which I'm going to generously put over both sides of the brioche bun. Next thing I'm going to do, I've got some shredded lettuce, a couple of slices of tomato, our wonderful burger topped with that wonderfully toasted brioche bun. And there you have it, a delicious juicy burger, better than takeaway, as good as any restaurant. You can build it how you want, add to it how you want, but that is going to put a smile on anybody's face.